In this film, Jean has been referred to a consultant to discuss the results of her X-ray. The consultant would like to consider hip replacement surgery, but first he needs to establish whether Jean has the capacity to consent herself for the procedure. Good afternoon, Mrs. James. How are you today?
Hello.
My wife has dementia. She will have difficulty understanding what she's here for.
Mrs. James, your doctor has asked me to see you because he's worried about the pain you have in your hip. Do you remember you went to see him and he sent you for an X-ray?
No, I don't think so.
I have the results and I want to discuss with you what they might mean and what I think we need to do next.
You don't need to shout at me. I am not deaf. I don't remember seeing my GP or having one of those X-rays.
You'll have to explain it to me. My wife won't understand.
The X-ray has shown that your hip is very worn. My recommendation is a procedure to replace that hip joint. It'll help relieve your pain and increase your mobility.
What's he on about?
The surgery will require you to have a general anaesthetic. During the procedure, we'll make an incision into your hip, remove the damaged hip and replace it with an artificial joint made from a metal alloy.
My wife won't understand, but I'm willing to sign to say I agree with it.
Even though your wife may have a diagnosis of dementia, it does not necessarily mean that she lacks capacity to consent herself. If an assessment concludes that your wife lacks capacity, you are unable to make the decision on her behalf unless you have a registered lasting power of attorney for health and care.
Oh, we never got around to sorting that out.
Well, what I'll need to do first and foremost is a formal assessment of capacity to determine if your wife lacks capacity in relation to this surgery. What the assessment looks at is if Jean can understand the information, retain and remember the information, weigh up the pros and cons, and then communicate what she wants to happen.
So if she doesn't have this capacity you're talking about, and I can't agree for her, who makes the decision?
If your wife fails to meet all the capacity requirements, then she'll be deemed as lacking capacity. If that's the case, because I'm the person who is recommending the surgery and carrying it out, I will be what we call the decision maker. That means I will decide if going ahead with the surgery is in Mrs. James' best interest.
Oh, that seems strange. You hardly know Jean.
You're her husband, and your views are important, as are the views of other family members. There are risks and benefits, and I need to explain these to you and take into account your views and opinions before I decide what to do. I hope to include you as much as practically possible throughout that process.